no gold is not enough.
Hello friends, welcome to another episode of GigaTech. In my previous video, I have discussed about the testing of REST APIs. We have discussed more about the basic scenarios, how we can handle those scenarios, what we need to verify those scenarios when we test the REST APIs. Today's session is also about the APIs, but today session is a little bit different from the last one. Today we are going to talk about the SOAP APIs. So in today's session, I'm going to talk about the basic scenarios of SOAP API testing. In today, we will try to identify the request format of SOAP request. We will also try to identify the response of SOAP request. We will see what things we should take care when we test the SOAP APIs. So before moving on towards the tutorial, first of all, I would like to thanks to all my subscriber viewers who supports me. If you are new to my channel, please do like, share and subscribe my channel and give your feedback in comment section. So friends, before moving on to testing of SOAP API, there are broadly used two tools for testing the SOAP APIs. One is SOAP UI and another one is Postman. So there are a couple of more tools available in the market, but these two tools are widely used and they are quite handy to use for testing the SOAP APIs. Today I am going to use SOAP UI. So this is the URL for that, from where you can download it. It has two versions. One is pro version and another one is open source. So today I am going to use the open source version. So here from this URL you can download the version of the SOAP UI as per your OS. It supports Windows, Linux and Mac OS also. So once you download the SOAP UI and you installed it, then this is the very basic window of SOAP UI. You can see over here it has different options, SOAP, REST and many other options, project, suite and all. So how it will look like, it's a very fresh start for the SOAP UI when you install and start it. So today we are going to cover these points. First we will see how we can create a SOAP project for testing. Then we will see how we can verify the valid request responses, which is called the positive scenarios. Then we will see what kind of responses we will receive when we try to validate some invalid request or we provide some wrong input in a SOAP API. So let's get started with SOAP. So this is my SOAP window, which I received after starting the SOAP API. Sorry, the SOAP UI. So now, before moving on to the creating the project, I'd like to talk about one more thing, which is called WSDL. So let's just first create a SOAP project. Here, just give the name of project, demo, initial WSDL. So it is very good to have a WSDL. It is not a mandatory thing to have a WSDL, but when you are testing the SOAP APIs, it is very good to have the WSDL, because what WSDL describes that it is a collection of networks, endpoints and ports, which tells the client that how to use the services, and also it provides what operations are available on server which client can be used. So in case of SOAP, it provides the XML schema. So if you have a WSDL, it makes testing life very easy, because it contains all the methods, all the APIs within it. So let me show you how a WSDL file will looks like. So this is a WSDL I am having. It's an XML file. So it shows, you can see that it has the different tags of XML, because we have a XML request with us. So it has the different endpoints, it has the method names, it have all the parameters which is required to execute an API. So this is how a SOAP API's XML, the WSDL XML looks like. Now let's move on to creating the project. Let's browse the WSDL. So this is my APIs I'm going to test. So I've imported the WSDL for countries details. So now this all much endpoints we have with us, it's described in the WSDL. So before starting the testing, you can ask to your developer also that they can provide you WSDL for the SOAP APIs. So it will make your life easy. So now let's see how our SOAP request looks like. So friends, this is the address bar where we mention our base URL and the endpoint of the particular API. Here, this is the format of SOAP, the SOAP request. It has envelope, it has header, it has body, and inside the body we have the mandatory tags which accepts the parameter. So unlike the rest, it doesn't have any get, put, post methods mentioned over here. So what happens when we are trying to get any information from DB? So all the handling remains inside the code. The developer had put those logics into the code that if a particular API calls, then they have to perform the get operations. If a particular API calls, then they have to perform the put operations or adding a record into the DB or updating a record into the DB. Okay. So what this API do, based on the country ISO code, it will give us the capital city of that particular country. So it has the mandatory tag, which is an ISO code. So here we are going to mention ISO code of a country. So for India, I am going to mention IN. Before you are going to test these scenarios on SOAP API, you should first consult with your developer that what are the mandatory tags we have in the request, and what are the parameters it should accept, or what kind of parameters it will not accept, or in case of not getting a proper data, then what kind of error we will receive. So kind of discussion you should have with them. So now let's so this is the submit button. When we click on this button, then our request will be submitted to server and we will receive a response in the response section over here. Click on submit. Here you can see that this is the response. So again, we have a request format in XML, so we receive response in XML only. So this is the response. We receive the capital city result tag in our response. It's New Delhi. So while testing this kind of APIs, you should must consider the value of the name of the tags. What name of the text should we receive in the response, and what values we should receive in the response. So this API shows that for a particular single record, how we can get it from the DB. So in case if we want the list of records from DB, this is a single value. So how we are going to test that? So let me show you another example for that. Here we have the another request which says that list of continents by code. So this is again base URL and its API is endpoint over here. This is the request format. So what this request will do, it will pass the parameter list of continents by code, and based on this parameter, all the data will fetch from the DB. So list of data will be fetched from DB. So now let's click on submit button. See the response. So this is the list which we receive from database based on our parameter which we have passed in the request. As you can see that there is a list of continents. Inside the list of the continents, we receive the every tag, list value tag. The first value is consist of these two tags. One is code and another one is name. So what my API is doing is it is getting all the name of the continents which by their codes. Okay, so what I am trying to verify here is that first it should give me the proper code of my continent. Again, it will give the name of the continent also, because based on the name of the continent, I can identify the code of that continent. So it should be mapped properly. And the another thing which I am going to verify here is that the code, the tags which are coming inside each and every value of a list, it should be similar for all the list data. Okay, because it's a list and it's providing the same data but with the different values. So these tags should be the same till now, till the last one. It's OC is for Oceania, EU for Europe, then AS for Asia. So this is the complete list of the data which I have received from the database based on the request I provided via SOAP API. So again, you can see that this is also a very good thing if you can verify that the last tag and the initial tag should be very proper, because if the tags are not proper, then again response is not valid, and whenever these APIs are going to be consumed by client, then we will get a bug or an issue on the client that the responses which they are receiving from the server is not correct. So the format of response should also be correct. So this verification is also very much required. So this is all about the list of the data which we receive from the DB. Now for the another scenario which I am going to show you, that how we can perform add record into the DB with the SOAP APIs. So let me just create another project for that. Demo add. I'm going to browse its WSDL. So it will have all the details about that how we are going to add it. Okay, so this is the XML which I'm going to add. This is the WSDL. So this all the methods available in my WSDL. It shows that what kind of operations I can perform for this APIs. So it's mentioned over here. So I'm going to show you the adding operation on add user. Okay, so what this API will do, it will add a particular user. Okay, so this is its again we can see its base URL and the endpoint given over here. So here we have all the proper tags available in our request for adding a record into the DB. So these are tags which required values. Based on these values, we are going to add a record into the DB. So I am having it's already prepared request with me. So let me just copy that. So here I have mentioned the required data, authentication data, app code, department ID, project ID, user ID, passcode. So these are the authentication data which I am going to provide in my API. And there is another tag which contains the user details, its first name, email ID, and security group. So there are two kinds of data I am passing through this API. One is authentication data and another one is user information. So again, it's depend on your project to project that what kind of data you're going to add and how it's going to be added. So based on that thing, you should verify first the request format for that. Okay, it's a mandated data or it's a optional data. So you should also talk with your developer for that also, that okay, if this is a mandated data, then what error we will receive. It's an optional data, then we should not receive any kind of error in the responses. So now let's see how it's going to work. So currently I am not able to getting the response from the server regarding the authentication. So there's a problem with some problems happening with my API. So I'm going to show you if the authentication fails, then what kind of response we will receive, and if the authentication passed, then what kind of response we will receive in the SOAP API XML format. So let's run it. It's going to hit the server. So here you can see that authentication data is not valid, please retry. So here you can see that my developer has mentioned this message over here. In case if authentication data fails, means this message shows that we have some problem with our authentication data. It doesn't have any problem with the user details right now, but it is having some problem with the authentication data. So that's why an exception is we received an exception for the authentication, and based on that exception they have mentioned the custom error messages over here. Again, it depends on your developers and your project requirements, what kind of error message it should display. So before going to test those things, you should discuss with the developer and your POs that what kind of messages, what kind of error messages should be displayed in case if we have some data related issues, or in case we have some format related issues. So this is very required when you are going to test these authentication data kind of thing, or you are trying to add something into the data, or you are trying to update some data in your DB. Even for the get also, you have to be talked with your requirement. You should go through the requirements that what kind of responses we will receive in case if we are providing the invalid data. So we will see those scenarios also. So now let's see if this data is correct, then what kind of response we will receive. Previously I was received the proper response for this. So let me just copy that one. So this was the response I was receiving when my data was when my server was working fine. So what happened in my response, that I have discussed with my developer, that how should I know that my data is properly added into the DB. So he told me that you will receive the same user ID which you provided in the request in the add result tag. So what I have verified here, that first my tag name should be add result, and the another thing is that user ID which I have mentioned in my request should come into this, between this tag in my response. So these two things I have validated in my API for this scenario, that if in case if I just add this data, if I am receiving the user ID something else over here, then it's a problem. So I should report a bug to the developer that the tags are coming properly, we are receiving values also, but the values are quite different from the user ID. So the values should be the same as per the architecture of my project. So based on your project also, that what kind of results you should receive in response, you have to discuss first. Then you need to verify that these are the my tags, these are my proper tags, and these are the proper values which I will receive in the responses. Many times what happen, you are receiving the correct value but with the different tags. So it's an error, because when you are going to integrate with the client, then you will get a error, and it could be leading a problem for the client also, that they are not able to perform the required task. Many times we receiving the proper tags, but we are not receiving the proper values in our responses. So the responses should be pretty much correct. We should know what tags we are receiving in our responses. We should understand what kind of values we should receive in our response. So what I have talked about previously is that when if any authentication data fails, that if any test data fails, or we can say if we provided an incorrect data, then we will receive the error responses based on the developer mentioned in his code, that for that particular data, if you are providing in request, then you will get an error. Suppose if you are not providing correct authentication data, then we will receive that please retry, the authentication data is incorrect, as we saw in my previous example. But what will happen if the mandatory parameter or the required tags are not available in the request? Suppose if the authentication data and user data, which is a mandatory mandate data, it should be available in the request, then what kind of response we will receive from the server? So we should also take care of those things. Now let's see. I tried to, here you can see that it's showing me internal exception. So many times I saw that in my experience, that when I'm not trying to provide any data or any tags, not any data, if I'm not going to provide any tags, then what it do, that it will fetch all the details from the DB, which is an incorrect behavior. So many times I saw this behavior, and I reported to my developer, and he says, yes, this is a bug and we should fix it. So again, you can see that here we didn't provide any mandate data, and based on the missing of those required data, we receive the internal exceptions in our responses. So here you can see the description which my developer has provided, that internal web service error, please contact to your system administrator. So which means says that the required data is missing, the required parameters are missing. So this is again a scenario we should test when we are testing a SOAP APIs, that the proper tags should be there, proper tag starting ending should be there, all the mandatory parameters should be there. So all those things are required to test when we are going to test the SOAP APIs. So this is all about the SOAP API basic scenarios. These are very generic and very basic scenarios. There are many complex scenarios also where we can verify the validation and verifications on the login APIs. There are other things also in which we are getting the images in the responses. So we will talk about later in my upcoming videos for that. So these are very basic scenarios which I have demonstrated over here. So what these scenarios will show, that it gives you a very basic understanding about how an SOAP API works, how very basic scenario works for SOAP APIs, how you can handle those scenarios while testing, what points you should consider when you are going to test the SOAP API, where how you can create a project in that, what WSDL is and how it can help you. So I told you that if you have a WSDL, so it has all the complete data with in it. So what it provides, that how a client should consider the request or the responses from the server. So it has all the definitions inside it, so which is defined by the developer. So a WSDL is very helpful for the testers to use. So whenever you are going to test any SOAP API, ask for the WSDL. If it is provided by a developer, then it's very good, because otherwise you need to go through with the all the documentation part, and you need to create the request manually, but where the WSDL will help you to create it automatically with all the necessary parameters. You just need to provide the test data inside, and you can test it directly. So it will save your time also. So this is all about the SOAP API basic testing, which we should take care while test any SOAP API. So thank you friends for your time. If you like this video, please share, like and subscribe my video, and don't forget to press notification bell. Thank you.